You know, we're all living inside of stories, every single one of us. Some feel like these grand adventures, others are a bit quieter, but they shape everything about our lives. But here's the secret, the thing nobody tells you. You don't have to just be a character in a script that someone else wrote. You can actually pick up the pen and become the author.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to really sit with it for a second. Are you living your story, or is a story living you? You know, maybe it's some old, tired script you've been following for years without even realizing it. Just thinking about that difference, that's the very first step to taking back the pen.
And that leads us right here, because a lot of the time, there are stories that write us before we even get a chance to write for ourselves. We just sort of inherit them from our culture, our past, even our habits. And often, these are what you'd call thin stories, packed with negative labels that can make our lives feel kind of small, kind of stuck. Now this, right here, this is an absolute game changer. It's a core idea from narrative therapy, and it goes like this. The person is not the problem is the problem. Think about that. It means you aren't your anxiety. You're a person who's dealing with anxiety. You're not your failure. You're a person experiencing failure. That little bit of space between you and the problem, that's where all your power is. So how do you create that space? Well, you use a technique called externalizing. It's basically like taking a feeling, say the gray fog of sadness, and turning it into a character. You give it a name, you picture it, and once it's a character, it's not you anymore. It's just something you have a relationship with. And guess what? You can change the rules of any relationship. And this is the goal, right? It's all about changing your internal headline. You're not just making stuff up. You're becoming a journalist for your own life. You're digging through the evidence, finding those moments of strength or kindness that were always there, and you're making that the new headline. You're re-authoring your own identity based on the truth you decide to focus on. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting, because once you start to look at your story, you realize your mind isn't just one voice. It's more like a stage play with a full cast of characters. These are powerful, ancient archetypes that live inside all of us, and they are pulling the strings behind the scenes. First up, let's meet the king. When this energy is balanced and healthy, it's the part of you that creates order from chaos. It leads with integrity and blesses the world around it. This is the calm, centered author of your inner kingdom. So does your king bring order or something else? Then you've got the warrior. And look, this isn't about aggression. It's about having crystal clear purpose. The warrior is the part of you that sets healthy boundaries and takes decisive action for something that matters. It's your inner protector, the editor of what you will and will not allow in your story. Next, we have the magician. This is the keeper of secrets, the part of you that just gets it, that sees the complex systems at play. The magician is the strategist of your story, seeing the hidden patterns that everyone else misses and knowing exactly what to do with them.
And finally, there's the lover. This is the archetype of connection, of feeling. It's what allows you to feel deep empathy, to be truly passionate, and to connect with the world and the people in it. The lover is the part of you that writes the poetry of your life. But here's the catch. These powerful energies, they're not always in balance. Every single one has a shadow side, and that shadow tends to split into two dysfunctional poles. An active shadow, which gets all controlling and intense, and a passive shadow, which basically just gives up its power. And you can see it right here. The centered king can become a controlling tyrant or a spineless weakling. The purposeful warrior can become a sadist who enjoys cruelty or a masochist who seeks it out. The wise magician can become a manipulator or the clueless innocent who pretends not to know any better. Seeing these shadows isn't about judging yourself, it's about navigating. It's your compass for finding your way back to center. Now those 4 archetypes, they're an amazing start, but they are just the beginning. I mean, the world's library of stories is absolutely massive. So to become a true master storyteller of our own lives, we can call on a global council of mentors. Each one offers a different way to tell a story, a different song to sing. So think of this as your character select screen. Who do you need to call on right now? Maybe it's the cleverness of Anansi, the spider, to outwit a problem, or the sheer rebellious power of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, who literally rewrote his own fate. Or what about the healing magic of Scheherazade, who told 1001 stories to literally cure a king's madness? Each one of these is a masterclass in using narrative to change a reality. And this is so important.
because it reminds us that not every story has to be a straight line that ends with a big battle. The classic hero's journey is just one map out of thousands. So many traditions tell stories that are cyclical, stories that are about community and survival, not just one person's victory. The goal isn't always to slay the dragon. Sometimes it's to outsmart it, to heal it, or, and I love this, to sing the world back into balance.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But how do we actually do it? How do we take these huge, ancient ideas and use them in our day-to-day modern lives? Well, this is where we open up our digital alchemy kit. That's right, you are the digital alchemist. You get to use the tools of our time, the phones in our pockets, the apps on our screens, to practice the ancient, sacred art of writing your own life. You're turning modern tech into a tool for timeless magic. So here's a concrete action you can take, like today. First, you're going to externalize a problem. Number 1, name it. Give your struggle a name, like the inner critic or the procrastination beast. 2, design its avatar. Seriously, use an app, doodle on a napkin, whatever. Give it a face. And 3, write it a letter. Put that character on notice. Let it know that you see it and that you, the author, are officially changing the script.
So when you put it all together, this whole journey, from seeing the stories we're stuck in, to meeting our inner archetypes, to learning from storytellers all over the world, it's all about one single powerful act: taking back the pen.
And the ultimate goal here is to create what's called a preferred story. Now, this is not fiction. This is a true story that you build on purpose. You go back and you find all those little sparkling moments where you acted with strength or courage or kindness, and you weave them together into a new plotline, a storyline you can actually live by. So, if there's one thing you walk away with, let it be this. Your life is not some script written in stone. It's not a fixed destiny. It is a living, breathing story. And it is waiting right now for its author to show up and decide what happens next.
And that author, well, that author is you. The pen is in your hand. So the only question left is, what happens next?